Good afternoon, Yorkshire Classic Cars Ltd fans, and welcome to another gloriously sunny day in Retford. And you will notice, if you look very carefully, that I am being eaten alive by corn bugs or thunderbugs, little tiny, little weeny black flies that come out when they start to harvest the corn around us, which is the downside of having a unit in the middle of farm fields. However, so if you see a little tiny weeny black dot crawl across the camera, I'm sorry about that, but that's what it is. Just thought I'd do a little workshop update. Things have changed. It's been a little quiet, just basically for deadlines and things. So, for example, the Anglia up there in the background, she's up on the top of the ramp. That's waiting to go off for paint, but obviously the customer is away at the moment and he needs to talk to the painter about the next step. The painter's been down and had a look at it. The welding is finished. And I've stopped scraping the underside because the painter's saying he may dip it or he may blast it, either way, so there's no real point. And he said there may actually be more welding after that. So if you look at the front wing there, that's the one I did the last video on, front fender if you're an American. All the other welding is now completed, so that's just ready for the painter to do what he does and meet up with the, to do what he does with the customer, and then I'll take it off to him, hopefully. You'll notice the silver Spitfire has moved behind us. I took the bonnet. That's the original Spitfire bonnet. This is the replacement bonnet the customer bought. And as we zoom in a little, you can see that the tin worm has got hold of it quite significantly. Now, this isn't that big a deal. This really is, because that isn't available as a panel. That's a fab job. This is more tin worm in here that's been shonkily repaired in the past. This isn't a standard panel. And it goes on down into here and into the arches. And if I show you inside, you can see daylight through there in the inner wheel arches. So unfortunately, the customer was of the opinion that I could potentially strip down this bonnet, the silver bonnet behind me, which is the original car bonnet, which is damaged. You can see there's some big dents and stuff in it. However, he was hoping I'd be able to cut that up and take some of like the inner arches and stuff are quite good. But unfortunately, the ones that are rotten on that are rotten on that. So I totted up the figures in panels that it needed, the time it would take to do the job. And it turned out that really it was kind of more economically advantageous to buy a brand new bonnet. Now, that's a bonnet there. I picked it up yesterday. It's fitted to the car. You can probably see it fits really, really nicely. Now, I can't adjust things like the sills, obviously, there. However, the last person fitted them. But I think you'll see if you look at that and the lineup of the bonnet, it all fits really, really well. These are heritage bonnets. They're made with original dies to original specifications. They're really, really nice, thick steel. And they just fit. There's no qualms. There's no messing about with tons of body filler. Now, okay, if the doors have been faffed with and the sills and things like that, that's going to alter things. But that has lined up really, really well, in my opinion. It's taken a lot less aligning than if I'd cut the other one up. There's a few tiny little storage marks and stuff on it, but basically it's fit and take it straight to the painter. Now, again, as I say, the painter is busy at the moment, so that's going to have to wait a few weeks. But it should save a lot of money as well on blocking and painting, because there isn't a lot of filler needed for it. There's I can see little teeny tiny marks here and there and little bits where it's been stored, but I mean, they are tiny. There's not a lot. And to be honest, if you painted them as is, you probably never notice them anyway. So that is now basically done. I've got a few other little jobs and things to do on it, but not a lot. They'll all be done tomorrow. So the Capri's moved on. The doors are painted and on it, and I appreciate this is my car and not a paying job, but there you go, the doors are sprayed and on, the yellow line is for the black lines to go down the top there, engine's back in, and if you've seen it, I'm doing a system of wiring up the Mega Squirt ECU. I'm going to do that as a series of videos, basically because I couldn't find anything to that end at all to sort of help. So I figured if I break it down to layman's terms, that could help a lot of people. I've seen loads of videos online on YouTube and it says, oh, Mega Squirt ECU being fitted to MX-5, Miata, whatever you call them. And basically they get the the MS2 and go, there you go. And this is it running. And that doesn't help somebody like me who's a complete novice. In the background over here, there's a Rover. It's a number of people have come in now and said, is that actually worth repairing? I'm a little bit, that annoys me a tiny bit, because really anything's worth repairing if you want to repair it. Financially, no, probably not. Most cars aren't worth repairing financially. But then if you want it as a nice car, it's worth repairing. It needs sills. I have a sill in there. Somebody started fitting a sill at the other side, but I'm going to redo it because it's not very well done. This is actually a twin plenum Vitesse. If you don't know what an SD1 twin plenum Vitesse is, it's a very, very, very rare car. They were an homologation special for the circuit racing, and they had two throttle bodies on the inlet plenum. They were rumoured to make about 180 horsepower, but apparently, or allegedly, they made nearer to 250. Good goers, even for a big heavy car like this. Lots of torque, lots of go. And although this has a bit of tin worm here and there, the only problem with it is getting panels. So things like this, there's a bit of tin worm in the corner there. And that's difficult to get. The owner has obtained a section to go in here. I've done a little bit of repair work in this corner here. I've fabricated all that and put it in. A lot of it's going to be fab work, but he's going to try and get panels because in the long run it's cheaper. So he's going to try and get me a boot floor. He's got some other panels to go in there. This one's come in this afternoon. Bright orange Karmen Ghia that's about to go up for sale. Not a lot wrong with it, actually. It came in a while ago to have a look at some work. There's some odds and sods could do with doing on it. There's been a shonky panel put underneath on the floor, and I'm going to cut that off and do it properly for him. It's been sort of what I usually quantify as an MOT repair. So basically just chucked a piece of steel over the top of a hole. They haven't cut the hole out. They haven't replaced the section. They've just wodged a piece over the top. So I'm going to repair that. It's not a perfect car, but I think probably for the age of a Karmen Ghia, and this is a K reg, so it'd be a 71, 72. But I think for what it is, it's a really tidy little thing. And if you wanted to do some shows and stuff, bang on. The interior is absolutely lovely in there. It's all grey leather cloth with orange piping, and I really like it. I'm not a VW lover per se, but I can appreciate a nice piece of art, and that is certainly that. So yeah, that's what's going on in the workshop this week. The bonnet is now installed. I'm just stripping down the old bonnet so the customer can take it away. He's going to sell those two bonnets. That's the other thing about repairing this. If you could repair the bonnet yourself, it's economic to do it. It's about £600 worth of panels. So you could buy the bonnet for, say, £200, repair it, and it's still cheaper than buying a new one. And significantly cheaper. But if you have to pay me, then obviously it's not worth it because there's a good couple of days welding in it, and that's going to ramp up the cost. The other cars are in, as I say, more or less, the Spitfire is now more or less in storage. It's got about another 4 or 5 hours work on it before it goes off paint, which I'll do tomorrow. The Karmen is a few hours work. It's nothing major. The Rover is a lot more major, and the Anglia is basically done. So that's where we stand at the moment. I've other cars coming in soon. I've got a mini base kit car coming in for a wiring job. That's coming in later this week. I'll show you that when it comes in, or it'll be on my Facebook page. Please like and follow my Facebook page if you haven't already, my Yorkshire Classic Cars Ltd business page. I do regular updates on there. And I have an Instagram page as well. Same name, Yorkshire Classic Cars Ltd. So if you want to have a look on there, knock yourselves out. If you haven't liked and subscribed, do it now. Joking. If you want to like and subscribe, please feel free. Enjoy. Cheers. Bye-bye.